Yeah.
What would you say to the person who they have a dream, they have a desire, and they've had to go and do other jobs or they've taken on another career, and then they're not sure. I had a client recently come in, and he wasn't sure if that little secret desire that he still has from way back when that he's not paid attention to, and he doesn't know if it's really there or not, but he feels it secretly is, but he has this whole other career going on. What would you say to that person to maybe begin to explore it again, or they, he also feels like time has passed by and that it's too late, and he's older now, and he's an artist as well, but he has this business job, corporate job now, and to go back into a situation like that and to pursue something like that when it is his heart's desire. What would you say to somebody like that?
Well, the original impetus for any artist is joy. It's not money.
Right.
So in many ways, when you're a professional artist, I won't say in many ways, but in some ways, the art is a bit compromised. It's not as pure. Because I tell this to people all the time, because they say, well, how do you be a professional musician? I've got this amazing career, I've got this and that going on. I said, well, be the musician. You don't have to shift your career to have that joy. Remember, what keeps us alive is being childlike and nurturing that fantasy. And nurturing the fantasy may mean just picking up the guitar or picking up the drumsticks and just playing for 10 minutes a day just to get that joy. That bit of fuel can keep you alive an extra 25 years.
So
it's
true.
not about being professional. If this man's got an amazing business, all the power to him. So he can now purely and joyfully, with nothing attached, create his art.
Right.
And that's what matters. And you're never too old. Oh my God. I mean, I'm 46. I'm like a big kid, man. I'm playing with how old is Pink now? How old is Alicia? She's 28. I'm playing with a 28-year-old woman. She's nearly 20 years younger than me. When she found out that by the time I told her my age, I was on the road with her. And when I told her, she said, how old are you? I said, you don't want to know. How old are you? I said, I'm 45. She said, get the out of here. I thought you were like 32. So,
Right.
And the funny thing about art, particularly rock and roll, is it's grown up with us. I mean, Paul McCartney's 66, man.
Yeah.
He was singing when I'm 64.
Right.
The Stones are almost 70.
Isn't that amazing?
So,
and they look
so
fabulous.
it's so rock and roll,
Right.
and it's rock and roll as a model for all art proves that you can transcend age.
It's
If you've seen Paul McCartney lately, he freaking rocks.
Yeah, he does. He does.
So the point is, it's never too old.
Right.
I'm a living example of that, because even 30 years ago, if you had said, would a guy like me, a sideman, be on the road still at 46 years old? I'm in the prime of it, man. I've got another 10, 15 years of touring comfortably, So, said the artist's only responsibility on this planet is to express their art, not to judge it, and not to have any ulterior motives associated with it. And when I say don't judge it, that has to do with your age, that has to do
Right.
with money, that has to do with expectations. You just simply do it.
Now, what about the person who they have a certain lifestyle that they're accustomed to, and yet they yearn to go back to their art. They really yearn to be a part of that whole ball game again. And people say, oh my God, you act like you're in your 20s. You can't go do that.
Excellent.
You can't leave all your...
Excellent.
Yeah, but seriously.
It depends on how strong the calling is. When I talked about balance, there are all these different areas of your life. Dr. Jim calls them plateaus of your life. There's, your family, there's your career, there's your health, your art. We all need certain levels of different areas of our life. My artistic level might be up here, where somebody else's artistic level might be down there, to keep them that intuitive balance, that you're helping people find that intuitive balance. So if the calling is that strong, and with some people it's going to be, that they need to quit their job and get in a van and go on the road and make $100 a week, and as opposed to $1 million a year. If the calling is that strong and that authentic, that's what they need to do. And it's nobody else's business to judge them for it. Wayne Dyer, I love Wayne Dyer, and one of the things he said that always sticks so strongly to me is you need to be independent of the good opinion of others. It has nothing to do with anybody else.
Right.
Your authenticity is your authenticity. If someone else tries to judge it, that's either because they have the same authenticity that they're not actualizing, or they're in judgment because of some prejudice they have
They're
about
living by
whatever.
societal
Yeah.
points of view. And it's so funny. I must need to hear this today because I had a discussion earlier today with my best friend Allison, and she just got back from Peru, and she had this amazing experience. And I said, well, tell me, what did you learn? Because she said that she just feels like her whole life has shifted and she has a new belief system. It was like this amazing experience. She was gone for 3 weeks, and she went through the Amazon and the Enchanted Forest and did all this amazing
And she got
trekking.
enchanted.
She sure did. She sure did. And she says, Monique, the biggest thing I've gotten is that who gives an
Yeah.
F about
Yeah.
what people think. She says, I'm just saying what's on my mind now. I don't care what anybody else thinks. It's my life. I'm going to live it how I want to. I mean, these all sound so simple. Of course, it's your life. You
Yeah.
live your life how you want to live it. But I see for myself that where I've gotten caught in certain patterns or certain things because of, I'm a business intuitive and I do these certain things that I must behave a certain way. And I think, baloney, but I see where I have gotten caught up in it a little bit. And I was listening to her speak today, and it is our responsibility to live our own lives. And if people don't like the way that we're living our own lives, and if we quit our jobs and go do whatever of course, if you've got a family, you've got to be responsible, or whatever it is, your certain responsibilities,
Well,
your kids.
that's finding the balance.
Yeah, the balance
Yeah.
there. But I, like for myself, I don't. It's me, and I can go do whatever I want. So it's interesting to see my own self get caught up in living certain societal points of views and values. And
That's all that's learned. Those are learned attitudes, if you will.
Yeah.
They're learned attitudes that you can control and you can shift and you can change.
Absolutely.
That's where the awareness comes in.
Right.
When it's like she had the aha moment, the awareness that the only limitation was her.
Exactly.
And we all get that when we get it in whatever increments we get it. But it's a glorious time. It's a glorious moment or series of moments when you realize, wait a minute,
what
there's
am
no
I
limitation.
doing? Yeah.
These are learned attitudes.